the next piece, and how are we doing for time?
Tons.
Time's over?
Tons.
Oh, tons of time, oh, good, that's the answer I wanted, Stuart. The next piece I'm doing is actually, we all know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is, right? We do?
Yeah.
All right, well, about 20 years ago, I don't know how it happened, I think because probably of emails like I sent out to Stuart, but I was trapped in a writer's retreat in Fort Sand, Saskatchewan, which is, I don't even know where it is, like a hour-long ride from civilization. And it's a decommissioned tuberculosis sanitarium. And I was out there with about 10 Saskatchewan writers, and it was bleak. At one point we were having supper, and a bunch of wild dogs raced through the dining room and actually grabbed people's stuff and ran away with it. So I don't know what the Saskatchewan Arts Council had to do with that. But. So one of the things that these writers, some of whom were younger, they thought there were certain things you could write poems about and other things you shouldn't write poems about. And I'm not of that belief. I believe that you can probably write something about anything. And so when I told them I was going to write a long sequence about Arnold Schwarzenegger, they thought, oh, that's just stupid. He won't do it. He'll go up and drink in his room or something. And instead, what I did is I did it, and it's a long sequence. It came out from a weird little press called Surrealist Poets Gardening Association at the end of the 80s. And I never did get an answer. I sent it off to Arnold. I sent it, and I found his agent's address. I sent it off to his agent. I never did get a response. I didn't really expect one. But I'm going to just share with you some pieces from the Schwarzenegger poems. The section 1. What is in the heart of America? A big kid afloat on popcorn and pop in a carnival his dad owns looking for heroes. 2. The importance of being Arnold. Public transformation. Nothing to hide from the smilish Ivanhoe of pumping iron, through the sword extension of multiple Conans, fully blossoming like a stocky flower over which a lawnmower has recently run. In the various arcana of ex-major and ex-colonel, eternally called back to active service against your will or by the trickery of friends. This moment is the moment of your ripeness. Now, an unacknowledged legislator of a better morality than seen stateside since McCarthy. I mean this sincerely. I'm not dissembling nor mocking. You are not dogmatically anti-communist. You are not an assassin, as you have said more than once. You are the consummate rescuer, the seeker after a peace of rest from which you rail at being woken. Perhaps it is because you are a Democrat, transplanted from the fecund soil of Europe. Wronged, you wish only to write and rest. Tricked, you will sometime forego revenge as revenge. None of which is satiric. I find wholly admirable your tendency to make of dialogue haiku. You are witty, trenchant, and tersely glib. What more can I say? You've caused more than one to hang on a word. Some you drop, I let him go. Others you instruct, let's potty. The implacable you merely observe. If it bleeds, we can kill it. I imagine you far more intelligent than most actors. Sure, it's a fantasy, because the last 10 years has given a terrible smell to hero worship. Like any drug, in moderation, it's good for you. This man is convincing. He knows his own limits, and when he has no limits, and is not afraid to speak tongue-in-cheek deadpan. He's widely misunderstood. He's lumped in with Stallone, Norris, and Bronson. He has many imitators. He's given hope to a generation of weightlifters. Suddenly see a way out of back alley bodybuilding studios. In a milieu that rewards rabid McCarthyism based solely on its rapidity and ability to exceed the dementia of a puppet president's inhuman rhetoric, his movies, every single one of them, have been remarkably clean and non-judgmental. This is a feat gone unnoticed for its heroism. As we've learned to our pain, all violence is not the same, and to have forged in his scripts ambiguity at this point in time, in the stimulus response of Hollywood, in the moral paralysis of jingoistic America, is a deed of epic proportion. He will never be a Che. He will never be Florence Nightingale. Yet he will also never be paid to slay Che. He will move the earth to rescue Florence, whether kidnapped by the CIA or the Mafia. He is, in fact, what we are missing to win. Arnold has never made a movie about invading Grenada. Arnold does not hate Nicaragua. Arnold has been both a robot assassin and victor over an alien assassin that did not differentiate between left and right. Arnold has never blown away a woman, bad or good. He has the power to sculpt his body into numerous forms. Arnold never stool pigeoned from the McCarthy witch hunt, has never sold used cars, and has never asked for a single dollar to help God out of a jam. Well, actually, California is different. I mean, I think he has asked for money there. But he's never flown cocaine into the U.S. for the CIA and never said he hated Iran while selling them missiles. Arnold has never bombed Libya. He has never fought commies who somehow invaded Colorado, nor Soviet assault troops in the streets of Miami and Back Road, Georgia. He's never had to say, I forgot to remember, or I am not a crook. And never kicked sand in someone's face on the beach. Arnold has married well, invested in real estate, and takes care of his parents. His body is his reference. He's the cleanest man I know. How it ends. Arnold Schwarzenegger closes the small book of poems, setting it carefully on the glass top table in his lucid and beautiful sunroom. Like metallic flares, his eyes close slightly as he looks out beyond the terrace and toward the cold northern clime of Canada, foreign and mysterious. You're wrong, my friend, he whispers. Walking into his bedroom, past the bed on which he will leave a one-word note for Maria, Canada, he grasps the double closet doors in both powerful hands, pulls them open, and walks into a room about the size of a hardware store. Pulling down from the wall one of several oversized duffel bags, he begins methodically, quickly, with extreme knowledge, to choose weapons, explosives, arms, daggers, short swords, a halberd, several sawed-off shotguns, pump and auto, a flamethrower, the Smith & Wesson, at this he chuckles, and smaller packages of unexplained ambiguity that might contain C4 explosive. Passing back through the closet, he chooses a flak jacket, several sleeveless bush vests, and a rip-away t-shirt from his last movie. A small bottle of the world's most expensive body oil. His jaw hardens as he listens to the ticket agent on the phone. Never mind, I'll walk, he hangs up. His oversized hiking boots make no impression in the earth. After a day, he pulls out a field map with a small circle near the top. In Toronto, I pulled the cassette from the VCR. But did he like this book or not, I ask myself. And there's a short, sharp knock at the door. Now, there is one factual error that I have to confess. I actually accused him of being a Democrat, and as it turned out later, he was a Republican.